Hi, welcome to Making All the Plans. I'm Connie, and if we haven't met before, I'm a busy mom of 2 active kids, and both my husband and I have full-time careers. My goal is to share with you how I stay on top of all life throws at me in one planner so that you might be able to do the same. Today, I am going to work on my monthly reset, and I'm going to apologize for the different lighting and that the camera might be a little bit shaky. I am using a card table and a gooseneck. The brand is Canvas Light, and although I really like it, on the card table it's a little wobbly, but my son is in the office playing games and I don't want to make him stop because it's Friday night. So I'm going to go ahead and try and make it through here, but I wanted to bring you along on my monthly setup and my goal setting for March. I do want to mention that my planner cover is holding up pretty well. The corners are getting a little tattered, but nothing that I can't handle. The discs, however, are starting to chip. The white paint is starting to chip off of them. So I'm not super happy about that, but there's no reason for me to put new white discs on if they're just going to get chipped again, right? So I'm going to try to just deal with the little bit of chipped paint that is on a few of these discs. I do have a second set of the white metal discs if I really feel the need to change, but like I said, I will deal with it. A couple of changes I have made is I now have a second notebook, and I have put all of my work items in this notebook so that I don't have to carry around my fat planner everywhere I go. This is nice and thin. This is the Tool brand. I showed this in a haul recently, but it's just a thin notebook with plastic rings and it's working quite well. I'm very happy. I just moved over the tabs that I had going on in this planner over to my notebook, and now I have all of my work stuff in one little notebook, and my actual planner did get a little bit thinner. And then I also pulled together a planner archive. Since I am not using a happy planner or a pre-made planner, I did go ahead and pull this together, and this just has all of my old sheets as well as anything that I have pulled out of my planner so far, and I may need it back. I just went ahead and put it in here. This is a clear cover from Live Love Posh, and it still has the plastic protective coating on it. I'm just not pulling that off now in case I decide that I want to use it elsewhere, and then it'll still look brand new. But right now, this just sits on my shelf, so it's fine the way it is, and I do have my extra white discs on here just because I didn't have another set of full discs that were the same color, so I did just go ahead and use these white metal discs. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into our planner. I'm going to jump to the monthly section. I did decorate in a boho style for my March monthly, so I am going to continue that theme for my goals. This is my monthly page, but I want to continue that across everything else. I do want to have another meal tracking page, but I think I'm going to do that in a separate video because this actually takes some time, and I have not taken a new inventory of my freezer yet. This is my freezer inventory. I'm pretty sure I highlighted the things that I've eaten or cooked out of the freezer so far, but I do want to go through and just make sure that everything is marked off and I haven't added anything. We are starting to get into the busy season of life, so these pre-made meals are going to go quickly between softball and track for my daughter and then soccer for my son. But I'll go ahead and pull this out and set this to the side just so I don't forget to do it again. This printable is from Squared Plans. So this is my January, my February, and now we can switch to March. And I'm just using my monthly for the big items. And it's working out really well now that I have the Monday start. This is also from Squared Plans. And then we're going to jump to goals. I have February's goals and January's goals in here still. I am going to pull out February's goals, and we're going to keep our yearly goals off to the side here. So first, let's go through February's goals and see what we were able to accomplish. I did start working on an evening routine. There are still some tweaks I'd like to make to it, but so far so good. I did finish reading Feel Good Productivity, but it took a lot longer to read this book than I had expected. It has a lot of useful tools in it that I want to revisit, so I took a lot of notes on this book. I also wanted to start reading Make Time, but I decided instead of starting another book that had a lot of ideas in it, I wanted to start implementing the things that I had read in the Feel Good Productivity book first. So I had started taking some notes on Post-its, and I ended up taking so many notes I had to start putting all of them in Notion. But there are a lot of good notes and good ideas in here that I want to try to start implementing into my daily life. So I'm going to hold off on this Make Time book, and that was a conscious choice. Instead, I am going to start reading this Smart Couples Finish Rich, and I did not start it in February, but this is the next book I'm going to open in March. So I will put this right here so I don't forget to write it down on March's goal sheet. I did listen to one audiobook, and I'll have to look up what the title of that was. I did not finish my 2023 photo maintenance. Instead, what I did was cleaned up all of my scrapbooking supplies. I cleaned up the supplies. I looked through the photos that I had printed. I have kits in different states of doneness. So I went through all of those and figured out where they were. It has probably been, I'm going to say 2 to 3 years since I've really scrapbooked. And I want to get back into it consistently. But in order to do that, I needed everything to be organized, and I needed to know what the system was. It was kind of all over the place before because I had just been grabbing things and doing a quick page here and there, but I really needed things to be organized so that I can be more consistent with it. So I didn't do that, but I'm not sad about it. I think it's okay. I am planning on moving this to March, however. I will also see my mom in March, so I'll be able to go through her phone and see if there are any photos that I want to steal from her before I finish my photo maintenance and print that album for 2023. So I do a like a Snapfish album for my mom, and then I do actual scrapbook albums for each kid. And they may or may not want them when they grow up, but I enjoy doing them, and I enjoy recording the story. So it's as much for me as it is for them, but it's also about just enjoying the craft. I did not do the virtual crop because we were installing internet in my house. So I did not do the virtual crop, but I did scrapbook. And I also realized that in this memory keeping section, although I wanted to scrapbook 24 pages this year, that's one of my goals, I did not find a tracker for that, which shocked me because I thought I had one last year, but I looked through last year and I didn't have one last year either. So I did go ahead and make one. So here is the tracker that I made. And I think that I'm just going to kind of write what each page was that I completed. So like I did 4 softball pages for my daughter. I wrote them down over here, but I think I did like 2 pages for school pictures and things like that. So I want to just go ahead and keep track of those in the boxes, and each box will equal a scrapbook page. If you do ever see my scrapbook pages, if I ever show them on the channel, it will be mostly 2-page layouts, and I do count each page as a separate page when I count them because it just makes me feel better about the number that I do. But I guess we could go ahead and fill those out now. Okay, so I think I will just use erasable pen in case I mess things up. I'm debating on if I should put the date on here, and I'm thinking I will put the date, but I also need to look up what the date was because I don't remember. So it was last Saturday. We were supposed to go to Hocking Hills and didn't. So it was the 24th. So February 24th. Except this pen is not going to write very well on the gray. So 1 through 4, and I'm going to say 2020 Kinsey softball. And then maybe I will highlight these. I'm debating on whether I should have left them to color in, but I think I'll get the gist. Then I also did on 224, I did 2023 Ben's 10th grade picture. And then also on that day, I did Kenzie's 2023 7th grade. I just had to make sure that was right. Every time I say she's in 7th grade, I have to double check myself. I don't feel like she's that old. And then I did 2 pages, Kinsey flag football. And I can't remember what year that was off the top of my head, but it was the only year she played flag football. But I might come back in and write that in, and I will just highlight those 2 pages together. And at this moment, I don't necessarily care that it's pretty. It's more for tracking, but I may change my mind later. I may reprint this and do something a little different. I literally had nothing. I couldn't find anything on the internet to track this. So that's why I did go ahead and pull this together. I did just put a dot grid on the back in case I wanted to write any notes. I was thinking that I would just put a note in that I got everything organized again so that I didn't beat myself up later about not getting things done each month. So January, I didn't really get a lot done. I did start going through 2023 photos, but February, I really feel good about getting things reorganized. So I think I will just go ahead and write that in. January, I started processing 2023. And I'm going to say photos, but it's really photos and videos. And because of the channel, I have a lot of videos on my phone. February, I reorganized scrapbooking area. And then prepped photos and kits to scrapbook faster. And I'm not about speed when I actually do my scrapbooking, but I do want to get started quickly, if that makes sense. So I will go ahead and get this punched. And I'll put it back here in my memory tracker area. And I'll just put this at the front for now. but I feel like this is a good start. I feel like I can look at this and say, wow, I've actually made a start to this. So it doesn't feel as overwhelming when I say 24 pages. 8 out of 24, that's not so bad. I am ahead if you look at it by month, so I'm good with that. Maybe I can talk my mom and sister-in-law into getting together and doing a scrapbook day or a scrapbook weekend. It's just hard to find those free weekends now. Okay, daily prayer, Bible verse, Bible in a year, that's all good. My health, not good. I've been doing good at meal planning, but the rest of the things, I did find an exercise class that I want to do online. I just haven't had the, I'm gonna say, gumption to get up and do it. So hopefully I can get that changed in March. I did start listening to the Susie Orman Women in Money podcast. I usually only listen to hers once a week. And then birthday messages and random messages. I have been putting 2 YouTube videos up for the most part. I'm still not doing great on Instagram. I did do the planner archive. That is this planner that I put together. Let's see, find a professional podcast. I did find one, but it's only a monthly podcast. So I'm thinking maybe I'll find one more, and that way I can either do one like every other week, or depending on how frequently the other one is, maybe one a week. I definitely don't want to overdo the audio with the Bible in a Year podcast, my audiobooks, the Susie Orman, and the professional podcasts. These are all things that I try to do in the car. Sometimes the audiobook I can't do in the car if I need to take notes, but depending on how many days of the week I go into the office, that's how much time I have to listen to these things. So on the days that I go into work, I have about an hour a day to listen to audio content. I have not been doing good for the certification exam. They did cancel my certification exam, so it got pushed to April. We did not finish our Okta integration. Hopefully that will happen in March. We are testing out a new add-on for that to make life a little easier, so hopefully we do get that done in the next couple weeks. The weekly home blessing, I am going to highlight this. I haven't been doing all the things every week, but I have been making a dent every week and trying to rotate those things that I get done. So the whole house gets done about every other week. The basement clean out, I did do a little bit, but I don't think I did enough to actually cross that off. So I am just gonna leave that alone. I did map out the recurring home maintenance, and I will be finishing up a video and posting that. And I have not been doing good on decluttering. Now, did I get everything done? No, I did not. But I also always write down more things than I think that I can get done, because I don't want to sell myself short. I don't want to underestimate how much I can do and then not think about adding things to my goal list once I get the things done that I had wanted to get done originally, if that makes sense. So I am okay with not crossing everything off, and I do feel good about where I got in February. The same as with January. However, looking at January and February, I really feel like the one area that is lacking is this health and wellness area. So I really need to just start focusing on that. And it's easier said than done, I know, but I really need to push myself to start focusing on these things. And then I thought I would run through my trackers. I don't think there may have been one more day in February that I closed all my rings. So kind of depressing, but again, it shows that I need to focus on my health and wellness. This scale number definitely went up. And again, I recorded it on my phone this morning. So hopefully by April 1st, the number will start going down. Bible in a year. So let's go ahead and use just my black pen. Because I'm sitting at a card table in my bedroom, I don't quite have all the tools that I would normally have at my fingertips. But I really want to start coloring in this tracker for running. My foot has been doing well. I had plantar fasciitis. I guess once you have it, it never really goes away for good, but it's been doing well. So I'm hoping that I can start crossing off some of those miles. Actually, it's not, what day of the year is it? So there were 31 days in February, or 31 days in January, 29 days in 31 days in January, 29 days in February. So that was 60 days. No, I have all 60 days done. I know that I am caught up until today, and today is March 1st. Except what is going on? 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. I must have forgotten to take some of those off. Anyway, I finished up to 60. Clearly, I need to fix this printable. I haven't decided if I will do this again next year or not. I love the Bible in a Year podcast. However, they just replay the same podcast year after year, so the commentary is the same. I feel like I need to find something new instead of listening to the same commentary year after year. Okay, so that's Bible in a Year. And I forgot to do my measurements last month, and I would like to do them this month. I just have not. Oh, this is what my scale gives me. So I should be able to go back and pull this, and then I should be able to pull this from today, but I did not actually do my measurements. So I'll have to skip February and then measure. I'll get up and measure tomorrow. Today I didn't feel great, so I didn't do very much this morning. There aren't a lot of March birthdays, so not a lot to worry about. There are a lot of March birthdays, but not a lot of March birthdays that I will send messages about. Now we're to our book tracker. I did finish this Feel Good Productivity. And again, I don't have colored pens with me. So Feel Good Productivity. This is by Allie Abdul. The other book that I listened to was Real Self-Care, and I can't remember the author. But again, that was another book that I felt like I needed to take notes on. So I ended up not listening to the audiobook in the car. I ended up listening to it at home. So that took away some of my actual reading time. It's hard to listen to two self-help books at the same time because I want to try to implement the things that they're telling me to try, and I just can't try it all at once. So like I said, I need to do one self-care book or one self-help book and then something else, and preferably something a little lighter. However, this book has been sitting on my desk for, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, and I've wanted to read it, so I am going to start on that one next. Okay. Oh, hey, look. Look what I found. 24 layouts in 2024. Not where I thought it would be. So I am going to just take this out, I guess. And maybe I'll switch back to it. But I kind of like the one that I just filled out with you. So I think we'll keep... I don't know. I will just stick this back here. And then if I decide to switch, I can. But it'll be where I look for it instead of just with the other trackers. So I didn't bring any stamps or anything in the room with me. I definitely wouldn't want to drop them on my carpet in my bedroom. So hopefully we will have what we need here. I think I need to go get a few more box stickers though. How many categories do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wish I had another yellow, but I guess we'll have enough. I'll just use 3 of the dark orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. So I haven't really planned things out as usual with my goal setting. I kind of have been thinking about the things that I want to put on my list, but I think I'm just going to put the stickers down like I have been and just go from there and hope I have enough room. Okay, so I need to remember that this is the punch side, so here is where the margin is. So I need to do one for personal. And then I think I'm going to put the yellow kind of in the middle. And I'm kind of looking at what I've done in the past. And I do have quite a bit of decor to fill in with, so I feel good about that. This green one. I want to leave enough room up here for it to say March. And I'm just using the dots to try to make it as straight as I can. It's not perfect. Friends and family, financial, and household, professional, and passion. Household, professional, and passion. Apparently I'm going to do 3 greens instead. And everything is up really high, so I think I'm going to put some washi tape down at the bottom. Professional and passion. The other thing I've liked the last 2 months are these dot markers that I've been using. So I think I will go grab a dot marker as well. Let me go ahead and run some of this washi tape across the bottom to start. And I think I might run some down the side where the holes are also, just to bring in a bit more of this brown color. And then I think maybe do red. And green. So I have all these dot markers, and I wasn't sure which ones would work. So I thought I would try a few. Definitely don't want gold or silver. Let's see how these look. That's too bright. I think the yellow could work. The green could work. The red would work. And the brown would work also. I feel like there's enough bright red. I think maybe I'll do yellow. Or should I do... Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do... Although there's two different reds, so... No, I'm just going to do yellow so that there's some more yellow on the page. The other thing I think I'm going to go grab from my desk is these thicker pins. I really like how this looks compared to a thinner pin. So let me go grab that. This is just the 05 Kelly Creates fine liner pin. And I just like how thick the nib is to write in my different categories. Okay, where to start? I think I will start with friends and family because I'm pretty sure I am just going to keep the same goals. Let me look and see what my bigger goals are. Professional photo shoot. I want to do this outside, so it's still going to be a little chilly here to do that. And I have been spending time with my husband. Again, hopefully more when it warms up. We can be outside. But really, those are the big things anyway. So we'll do 2 here. And I do use erasable pen. I do use erasable pen for this because I tend to make mistakes. And maybe this is out of ink, and that's why I wouldn't write. So, birthday messages. And random message. My spiritual goals are also going to stay the same. The daily prayer, Bible verse a day, and the Bible podcast in a year. So for financial, I'm going to put this book instead of putting it in personal. So we'll start with that. Read. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Will, IRA, and taxes. So read Smart Couples Finish Rich. Will, I still have not done that yet. So I want to at least find somebody who can do the will, update my IRA, and work on our taxes. For passion, March is going to be a little tricky based upon my work schedule and spring break. But I really want to get into this masterclass a little bit further. I think I've done like the first set of like the first section of classes, but there's a bunch. So I want to continue to work through that before it expires. I want to work on posting consistently for Instagram. And I'm going to go ahead and write this 2 YouTube videos a week. Even though I usually do that anyway, but I'm trying not to bite off more than I can chew in this next month or two. Like I said, I know that work is going to be crazy in March and April, so I don't want to reach too far, I guess, is what I'm saying. I want to set my goals so that most of them are reachable, even though I know I won't reach all of them, but I don't want to have a 10-page list of goals where I know that I'm only going to get to like a quarter of them. So that's my thinking on this. So for professional, I want to continue listening to I think it's called Darknet Diaries. Darknet. And I think I'm gonna leave this corner for decorating. So continue listening to Darknet Diaries. Find an additional podcast. Okta integration and study for certification exam. And this is, I think it was April 16th. I feel like that's a lot of professional goals. And thankfully, most of them are not dependent on other people, so I should be able to accomplish them. Really, the Okta integration one is dependent on people, and the studying is just dependent on finding some spare time. I do want to keep doing the Susie Orman podcast here, but it is in my podcast list. I wonder why Darknet Diaries didn't pop up. Maybe it's just because there hasn't been a new one yet. That's probably why. So now I'm debating. Let me go ahead and add the Susie Orman podcast here, just so that it's balanced. Orman podcast. Okay, so for personal, I want to, do I want to continue working on my evening routine, or do I want to start into my morning routine? I think I'm going to start my morning routine. Again, start building it up. The only challenging thing with this is we will go on vacation for a week, so it's always hard to stick to your routine on vacation. I do think I'm going to write continue evening routine just because it is not routine enough yet to not be on the list, if that makes sense. And then I do want to read or listen to at least one book. And since I'm on vacation for a week, I should be able to get at least one book of pleasure read. Hopefully I'll have this Smart Couples Finish Rich book done before vacation and I won't have to finish it on vacation. So I would read that, read one other book, and then I usually have time to listen to at least one audiobook in the car on my way to and from work. So hopefully I'll get 3 books read or listened to this month. And where was I in my goals here? So out of 24, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 done out of 24, so that's a quarter of the way through. So I am ahead of the game. I just feel like I'm behind after reading 4 books in January and then only reading 2 books in February. But okay, I feel good about that. Do I want to put something about my hobbies in here? I just don't know if I'm going to have time. I think I'll just put photo maintenance down. So I'll put 2023 photo maintenance. And then I'm debating on whether I want to challenge myself to get the book done this month. I think I'll wait until next month to worry about the book. As long as I get these into Snapfish or wherever I'm going to build the book, I think I'll be happy. I'm just trying to think about what March looks like already. I think I'm going to go ahead and write down the photo book just as a high goal, because maybe, I can't remember when my daughter's games and meets start. They may not start until after spring break, but if they start beforehand, I'll have a lot of just sitting in the car waiting for events to start time, so I may have time to do these. Thank goodness for hotspots, right? I don't have, I guess I could put spring break trip on here. It is technically one of my goals. I have taken a trip in January, I took a trip in February, and then spring break will be in March. I don't normally count work trips, but I think that I'll be going to Cleveland and Athens at least once, if not twice, in January or in March and April. So I have routines, travels, hobbies. Okay, I think we're good. We already looked at friends and family. We got spiritual down, financial, books. I think we're okay with financial, household, just because of the way the weather is and such in Ohio. I think most of this other stuff, the driveway, we need our back door replaced, things like that, that can all wait until April. I feel like if I get my taxes done in March, I can focus on these other things. I think I'm going to stick to just the weekly home blessing. I am going to work on a basement clean out. And I'm going to just put by quadrant here. I kind of have different zones in my basement, and that will help me break things down. It's overwhelming when I say go down and clean out the basement, but if I say to myself, okay, I'm going to go out and clean the quadrant that has the Christmas decor in it, that's a much more manageable task than saying, I'm going to go down and clean the whole basement. So I think that will work better for me. And then declutter, definitely need to work on this, not only in the basement, but throughout the house. And then I'm going to also implement recurring home maintenance. So I got the list together, but I have not started checking things off yet. So I do need to start checking things off. Declutter. Okay, and then last and hardest for me lately is this health and wellness. So I do want to continue meal planning. And this is going to become even more important with my kids going 8 million directions. And I really want to quit drinking pop, but as I say that, here is my soda for the evening. I probably won't be able to sleep tonight, but so I think I'm going to not put quick soda on here at this point, but I do want to try out the exercise class. And there's a lot of options on this app that I want to try. And if it has good workouts and whatnot, I will share that. But until I do, I don't really want to share what it is. I can try it free for 7 days, so that's my goal. I feel like that's not a lot, but I also feel like this morning and evening routine can kind of go in both places. And then I think one more thing is I want to get outside on nice days. And nice days vary here because even on warmer days, they don't necessarily feel warm because the wind is out of control. There were multiple days in February where I thought, oh, it would be really nice to get out for a walk. And then I didn't prioritize that for the day, so I didn't get outside. But I definitely would like to start focusing on that. But I feel good about this. I feel like most of it is achievable. But let's throw some decor on here before we finish up. And a lot of these I did put on my March monthly spread, but I really do like them, and I am enjoying using my stickers multiple times so that I can get the most bang for my buck. And so this may look similar once I'm done, but I also like to be able to carry the theme across the month. What big thing do I want to put? Do I want to put the bed? Do I want to put a hanging chair? I think we'll put the bed. That is crooked, but I am not getting the undo out. So most of these stickers are from, actually are all of them. All of these stickers are from Just Starkey, but I'm not sure which ones are still available. She took down a bunch of things from her shop. So I have her digital library subscription. So I'm not sure which things are available without going through the subscription. Let's see. And I just like to fill in some of the white space so it doesn't look like I am trying to slack off and not put in as many goals as I should, because I know in my mind that these are plenty of goals, but when you look at a sheet that's partially blank, it makes you second guess yourself. And I don't normally like things just hanging off by themselves, but I'm just gonna go with it. Let's see. And I could rewrite things so they fit because it is erasable, but I really don't want to. Hey look, I tried to use that twice and didn't make the page either time. That's funny. I want to enjoy the moment today. Something is going to have to go here. Something's going to have to go there. Those. And then maybe a bigger plant. It's funny, I thought that, maybe not the bigger plants, maybe the smaller plants. I did print them large to begin with, and then I went back and reprinted them smaller. And they're not in perfect proportion, but it gets the job done. I wish I would have flipped this chair so it was facing the other way. And I don't know, that might look a little weird, but and then did not bring a knife over to this room, and I don't really want to make yet another trip. So I'm going to just take my washi tape cutter, ripper, and just rip that sticker. I'm gonna put something next to the rainbow. And it's, again, it's a little out of scale, but I am going to go with it. On my other one, I put like a little piece of washi tape and made it like a table. And although I feel like I don't need to be completely redundant, it would fill this space a little bit. Where'd my little light go? Put my little light here. Maybe I'll put, I feel like I need more of this navy blue. I'll put that there. I wouldn't mind one more little plant there. I don't really have another little plant. But see how I have this navy blue just in a couple places? It might look a little weird, but yeah, both this one and this one, I would love to have another little plant next to it, but without fussy cutting, I still don't think it would look right even if I did fussy cut. So I think we'll just call this done. Go ahead and punch it. And put it in the planner. And I do like that when I flip to the goals section, it goes right to the current month's goals. And eventually I may move my old goal sheets to my planner archive that I put together. But for right now, I'm kind of enjoying looking back at what I have accomplished. So I think at least until the first quarter of the year is done, I think I'll just keep them all in here. And then, like I mentioned before, I will come back and put a March meal planner together. Thanks for coming along with me as I put my March goals together and do a little bit of a reset with my planner. I hope that everybody has a great March, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!